You good? Hey, Shalom. As always, I'm Precinct Officer of 5,000 Karyaj Bungad. Of course, we're here again for the Isupk Brotherhood Monday night class. Thank to everybody for joining us. This is a heavy class, as always, we like to talk about, of course, why Brotherhood is so important for the Native American, Black, and Hispanic community. We're going to be touching on that. We're going to be touching on a bunch of different topics going on in the world today. Of course, we had Juneteenth just passed. Right. We got Pride Month coming through. All that that disgustingness. We got a lot to talk about. But most importantly, the main topic, as it is every Monday, is the Brotherhood portion, which is about bringing Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans back to a familiar standard, to understand that we're family. We got to come together. We got to show love. We got to have understanding and mercy on one another and be able to come together because we need each other now more than ever. That's right. Of course, I'm joined today by Precinct Officer 1000 Mariala. Shout out to that brother for joining us. If you have any questions or comments on tonight's class topic, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. We'll do our best to make sure we get to them. If you got any questions or concerns, you can put them down there below as well. We'll do our best to make sure we get to them. Mariala, if you could, let's start with Jeremiah 15:33. Jeremiah 15:33. Of course, first thing we got to talk about in brotherhood, for us to understand that we're brothers, for us to understand that we're sisters, that we're family as Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we got to understand something in the Bible. And why are we going to the Bible? Because the Bible is not the book of your oppressor. Right. The Bible is not the book of the man that has enslaved you and castrated you from your culture. The Bible is a book of power. The Bible is a history book, a book of knowledge that will liberate you from the chains of oppression, that will liberate you from religion. They want to put all type of mysticism in the Bible, all types of all types of lies and Christianity and different things on the Bible, when none of that is true. The only truth you'll be able to find, the only truth you'll be able to find in the Christian church, and they will not touch on what the actual truth is in the Bible and what it's talking about. So, of course, we're going to start getting into it. Of course, if you got any questions, please feel free to put them down below. We'll get to them as soon as we can. You got that first scripture, Mariah?
Oh, God. Go ahead. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33.
Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
This is what you got to understand. Now, this is a bedrock scripture. This is something you'll hear common that we use in the ISUPK. That's because the children of Israel, when you read this context, children of Israel being who? The 9 tribes that were led here to the Americas to try to escape persecution. I was escaping an oppression out there towards the Middle East. They came here to the Americas to find freedom, to find liberation, that ended up discovering America. Even Christopher Columbus documented it in his diary, that the reason he was able to find the Americas and try to locate, because he was trying to locate the lost 10 tribes, that he documented that through him reading the Apocrypha, the reason Second Ezra, he was able to understand that there was a place here in the Americas, and that's how he was able to come here to find and persecute the lost 10 tribes, which are known as the children of Israel in this context, and then the children of Judah being who? What you would call today the so-called Negroes, so-called Haitians, West Indians. You know what I mean? These brothers, man. And the Lord is saying right here, that these two different sects of people who you see as different, they were oppressed together. That's exactly what's going on here in America. You can see it. You had the Carmelo Anthony case. You had the young brother that was gunned down by that Chinese cat. What was his name? The Chinese devil? Chow. Something. He shot this poor innocent brother, accused him of stealing water. Carmelo Anthony defended himself in a state where what is it called? A stand your ground state. Right. No one shed tears for him. The Native Americans being persecuted by the police, Black people being persecuted by the police, Hispanics being persecuted by ICE. All of us were oppressed together. You know who's not oppressed? The Chinese. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You know, it was not oppressed the Africans, all these other nations, the Arabs. You know, even though all these other nations they're dealing with their own pain and suffering, they have people that are willing to stand up for them. You see what's been going on in Palestine for the last few years. They've been in the UN fighting tooth and nail for the Palestinians, speaking up for them, saying this is war crimes. When has people ever stood up for the Native Americans and said, "Hey, you know what, y'all? This war crimes what the United States has done to the Native Americans. You know, the Trail of Tears, that was a war crime. Them you trying to slaughter the entire race of buffalo to try to starve them out, that's a war crime. You assimilating them and kidnapping their children and putting them in boarding schools and molesting and murdering these babies, that's that's a war crime. But no one came out and said that. What you did to these Negroes and putting them on the transatlantic slave ships and making them come over here to the Americas to work for you in hard bondage, that's a war crime.
right.
You know what I'm saying? This is all crimes you do against people, and you conquer these people, you murder these people, you slaughter them, you brainwash their whole identity to where they don't even know who they are anymore. These are acts of war, and these are war crimes. These are crimes that you're doing against the people that try to fight against you, and you're just beating them down to a pulp. But no one ever speaks up against us for us.
That's right.
No one ever speaks up for the Native Americans, for Black people, for the Hispanics. Why? Because the children of Israel and the children of Judah will press together. Go ahead.
God, and all that took them captive.
All that what?
And all that took them captive.
The white people, all these other nations that benefited off us, that benefited off our downfall. The Chinese benefit off our downfall.
Right.
The Somalians benefit off our downfall. You know what I mean? All these other nations, they get to rise up higher while you get lower. You know what I mean? Like a perfect example is these ICE raids. They're sending these ICE raids after the Hispanics, the Haitians,
right.
the Jamaicans. You know what I mean? They're arresting damn Puerto Ricans. The Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. They're arresting Native Americans, and the Native Americans are native to this land. You can't make this up. But you know why they're doing that? Because they're at war with us. They're not at war. They're not at war with the Chinese. They're gonna try to arrest some Chinese folks. They're gonna be going to war with China.
Right.
You know what I mean? They get to arrest some Arabs. They're gonna be at war with the whole entire Middle East. But they can get away with it because it's you, because it's Blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. That's why it says right here, all that held them captives, held them fast. Go ahead.
God. They refused to let them go.
And they refuse to let all of us go, even though they have so much hatred and disdain for Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Like, they talk greasy about the Latinos, man.
Right.
They talk about the Latinos with so much disgust and hatred. And all the Latinos ever did is build up America, man.
Right.
Go to every car shop up and down this block. You're gonna see Latinos ready to fix your whip. Go call plumbers. See how many of their names in the plumbing list is Latino. Go look at all these construction companies. Go see who's working them, Latinos. Go see all who cutting your grass and making sure your lawn looks nice and sharp. It's a Latino. But you want to be and go to war with the Latinos, treat them like the scum and criminal, man, when all they want to do is make America great. And they've been doing it for 500 years. Right. You know what I mean? You look at the Native Americans, like they're trash. Like they're nothing but drunks and drug addicts, man, because that's what you made them. You beat Native Americans down to where we lost our self-esteem. We lost in our identity, our culture. Now we feel like there's nothing else that can ease the pain other than the drugs and the alcohol you pump us with. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you got all this pain and suffering we're dealing with, and no one cares about it. No one sheds a tear for us. There's no anti-Native hate bill, no anti-Latino hate bill, but there's an anti-Asian hate bill. Right. But there's you better not speak bad about Israel. I think they just made their law. You can't speak bad about Israel now, or you're gonna go to jail, or they're gonna hit you with some type of anti-Semitic fine or something. I can't remember. They're still crying to this day about the Holocaust. You cannot say nothing bad about the Holocaust. You can't claim it's fake. You can't do none of that, and that's fine. You know, go ahead. You know, millions of people died. Right. But what about the American Holocaust? What about what you did to the Native Americans? What about you did to Black people? What about the Hispanics? Why every time we want to cry and we want our voices heard, it's a problem? Right. Make it make sense. Any more on that, Mariah?
Nah, that's it.
Drop that. Give me Zechariah 11, verse 5. Before we move on, we ain't got no questions online. Ain't no problem. Just making sure. Shout out to everybody checking in. Man, good to see y'all. Good to make sure we got our people here with us, siding with us. Please make sure everybody like, share, subscribe. Make sure we get our content out to all our people that are in need of it. Again, man, make sure you're checking out ISUPK reservations, man. If you're a brother or sister on a reservation that wants our assistance, that wants to know how to get in contact with us, man, hit us up on our pages so we can come out there. We got food programs, clothing drives, GED programs, prison programs, man, things that the reservation needs, every ghetto reservation in Barrio needs, man. And that's what we're here for, man. We're here to unite Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And that's the whole point of this Brotherhood class, to realize we're family. You got that one, Mara?
11, Zechariah 11:5.
Go ahead.
God, book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Whose possessors slay them.
Who's what?
Whose possessors slay them.
Whose possessors slay them. Who's our possessors here in America? Our white people. That's what I can say. The white nation. They are our possessors. They've been possessing us since the time of Columbus, since they came into the Americas, forced us under their boot. I know many of our Native American brothers and sisters think we got sovereignty, but we don't got sovereignty. I know the white man gives you a little bit of land on this entire nation that he stole from you, and you think you got sovereignty when you don't. How do you know? He's taking land from the Native Americans every day. The Black Hills is still fighting to take the Black Hills. They're still fighting to take more and more native land, and they're gonna do it. You know why? Because they're our possessors. They're not our friends. They're not our allies. They don't want to sit and chop it up with you. They don't want to sit and correlate with you. They don't want nothing to do with you but to oppress you. That's why the Bible says, whose possessors slay us. Our possessors slay who? The Native Americans, Black people, Hispanics at the most alarming rate. If you go look at police brutality statistics, you're going to see Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? You're going to look at suicide rates. You're going to look at alcoholism deaths. You're going to see drug abuse. You see Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And when you think that was done just by coincidence, there's a purpose out here to destroy you. Whose possessors slay them. Go ahead.
Come. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord.
I think you skipped the part.
And hold themselves not guilty.
And they what?
And hold themselves not guilty.
And that's exactly what we was talking about earlier. Not only do they slay us, not only do they do strategic things to break us down and destroy our mental and destroy our spirit, but then they hold themselves not guilty. If you go out into the street today and say what you did to the Native Americans is wrong, what you did to Black people is wrong, what you did to the Hispanics is wrong, you know what white people are going to tell you? Get over it. Get over it. It was a long time ago. Pull yourself up by your bootstrapped. You lost. What they're going to tell you? They conquered and destroyed you when you were at peace with them, and they're going to tell you that you lost. That's how evil of a devil these people are, man. Like, don't you think for a second that white people want to correlate with you, that white people want to sit with you, that they want to love you. They have no factuation in their head to want to do that. You get what I'm saying? That's what our Lord's saying right here. Possessors slay them, and they don't hold themselves guilty. You want proof? Go look at the ISUPK tape. Go look at our tapes when we out there street speaking downtown at camp, and look how white people treat us. They don't care about what we're saying. They don't care about the facts we're bringing out. They want to be right. They want to live in their kingdom without worry and hold themselves not guilty. Go ahead, Mariah. You want to add something?
Go ahead. Your point you're bringing out is very heavy. We talk about the crimes that these white people commit against Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, but what they do, they go to the scripture, what's in Deuteronomy, thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. We haven't touched it, we haven't put our hands on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why the hell are y'all telling us to hate y'all? You know what I'm saying? God hates y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we hate what God hates.
Right. And to even put in a deeper meaning than that, why shouldn't I hate white people? You know what I mean? Like, I never understood that, because I should let go. They haven't let go of their hatred. Why should I let go? You see that? And that's the thing with Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're always trying to be the bigger person. You know what I mean? We always want to turn our cheek when it comes to white people. We always want to bow down and get low when it comes to white people, but not when it comes to our own. A Native American or Black or Hispanic step on your shoe, you ready to go to war. You ready to take his damn head off. You know what I'm saying? Am I right or wrong, Asha? Like, the way we live here in America, we're so ready to go. I called you Asha. My bad, bro. I'm used to Oz being here.
I'm
Oz,
thinking he in the chat or something.
hey Oz, you abandoned me, man. I'm over here calling Mariah Asha and everything, man. But definitely shout out to Mariah, man, showing up and showing love. You know, definitely helping us hold down this class. But at the whole point of this brotherhood class, we got to be able to have mercy on one another and have understanding for the struggles that we go through as a people,
Right.
as Native Americans, Hispanics, and Black people. And for order us to do that, we got to have less compassion towards white people because we've been having too much. You know what I mean? Like if a white man hits you with his car today, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, like it's all right, Mr. White Man. You know, don't even worry about it."
Right.
Well, Black Hispanic hit your car, you ready to put a bullet in them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's our problem. Like we don't know how to have compassion on one another, but we're ready to have compassion for everyone else, and nobody wants to sit with us. No one cares about our struggles. No one can understand what we go through. That's why I can't be with no white woman. I say this every class. I can't be with no white woman. I can't be with no Chinese woman. I can't be with no other woman that ain't Black, Hispanic, and Native American. You know why? Because she's not going to be able to understand my pain. She's not going to be able to understand the struggle of what it's like to be me. You know what I'm saying? Like you live a life, an experience as a Native American, Black, or Hispanic. People are gonna your own race, your own people are gonna be able to understand that struggle. A Black woman, she'll be able to understand, man, you go through the same oppression and struggles I do. A Hispanic woman, she's gonna be able to understand that I go through the same struggles and tribulations she does. A Native American woman, you tell this to a white woman, she's gonna look at you like you got three heads. You know what it's like to be harassed by police? No, she does not. You know what I'm saying? You know what it's like to want the whole world to want your people destroyed? No, she does not. You know what I mean? That's why you see so many Black and Hispanics that end up marrying white women. They a switch flips in them. You know what I mean? Like one time they used to be hardcore just like the rest of everybody else, but then they get with them and now they want to lighten their voice. They want a clean shave. They want to look like Carlton on Fresh Prince. You know what I mean? Like they want to just be some sucker. Why? Because it makes them more comfortable like that. They don't want to think about your struggle. They don't want to think about your oppression. They don't want to think the fact that you're Black. They don't want to think the fact that you're some Indian or you're some Mexican. You know what I'm saying? They look down upon you. That's why in this brotherhood class, the whole point of brotherhood is to prefer one another. We got to get back to that mindset of it's better to be with natives. It's better to be with Hispanics. It's better to be with Black people. You know what I mean? Like I always been like that. Like even in high school, like I wasn't gonna go sit at the white table. If I would have sat down, y'all get me right. If you was to sit down with the white people during lunch in school, they would have looked at you like you were crazy. But you want to go sit with who? You want to go sit with Black kids and the Hispanic kids. It's just like school was like prison without the division. You know what I mean? But we still segregated ourselves. We're gonna go kick it with the Hispanics. We're gonna go kick it with Black people. But you know whose table I wasn't gonna sit in that? I wasn't sitting at white people's table. If I sat at their table, they were gonna look at me like I was insane. You know what I'm saying? Am I making up something you don't know? Any more of that, Brian? Go ahead.
And they themselves say, "Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich."
And the Lord said, and he said, what?
Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich.
In the book of Zechariah, Saint Rare, and they say to themselves, "Blessed be the Lord, because I'm rich." Why? Because they benefited off our downfall. Right. America has benefited off the downfall of the Native Americans. They stole the land. Everything is stolen. Everywhere you go is native land. You know, you go from here to Massachusetts to New York to all the way to Canada to California to Mexico, South and Central America. Guess what? It all belonged to the natives. And they don't get no reparations. They what? Because they threw them into a corner of what their land used to be. You know what I'm saying? Took their culture, took their identity. Now it's supposed to be all ends well, be well. Nah, not in the eyes of God. That's why they say right here, "Blessed be the Lord." I'm rich. I benefited off the downfall of the natives. I benefited off Black people's downfall, off Hispanic people's downfall. I flooded their neighborhoods with drugs. I flooded it with guns. Now I'm benefited off all of it. That's how white people think. That's why they don't have no compassion about your struggle. That's why you go on the streets and say, what? Hands up, don't shoot. No justice or else. You crying, you crying, you crying. And they don't care. They laugh at you. They say, get over it. You know why they do that? Because they don't care. Because they're saying, because of your downfall, I was made great. So I'm not going to care about what you're crying about because I'm still on top. That's why white people got to be brought down. Everyone loves to talk about equality. Everyone wants to talk about justice till it talks about the white man. The white man's society, America's society, is so disgusting and polluted. It's got to be brought down. It's got to be brought low the same way we were brought low, the same way we were destroyed. Then maybe will he be able to understand what it's like to be us. Any more on that?
And their own shepherds pity them not.
And their own shepherds pity them not. Who's those shepherds? The shepherds think about the sheep. Sheep, they don't know where to go. That's why you got a shepherd.
Right.
The shepherd leads and guides the sheep. The sheep are religious leaders, are activists, and everyone else that likes to be leaders for our communities. They're all sellouts.
Right.
Every last one of them. All your ministers, all your chiefs and councils, all of them have sold us out to the white man. All of them are getting paid pennies and dollars to make sure we don't rise up, to make sure we don't come together with black people, make sure we don't come together with the Hispanics, make sure we don't come together with the Native Americans, man. Because you know how scary and dangerous that would be for white people? Right. That's why they hate seeing us at camp, because at camp is nothing but black, Hispanic, and Native American men looking strong. That guess what? That don't do drugs. Right. That don't kill each other. Right. That we're not here gangbanging on one another. And it frightens them. It terrifies them that we got multiple women that love us and we love them. And we lay down with a woman, guess what? We're staying with her for her entire life. You know what I mean? Like that's a revolutionary thing. That we're not gonna touch white women. You know what I mean? That just pisses them off. What you mean you don't want to have sex with my woman? You know, white people are gay. So they want you to have sex with their woman, you know what I mean? Their own perverted minds. It scares them to see actual power and strength. So them seeing blacks, Latinos, and Native American power, like how we do at camp, it terrifies them, man. Right. That's why they gotta mock the camp. That's why you see us in our many of our pages going viral, across social media. You'll see nothing but white people and white bots in the comment section hating and talking all type of nonsense and garbage. You know why? Because they're terrified of you coming together. You know why? Because there's nothing more revolutionary than blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans not only coming together, but coming together with some knowledge, coming together in truth. And the only place you can find this truth is in the Isupk under Commander General. We've been doing this since 1969. And we've been telling black people, Hispanic people, Native American people, there's not much time left. World War III is coming, and they laughed at us for a good amount of time. And guess what? World War III is around the corner. Oh, you think that Iran deal with Trump is going to last? Please. Come on, man. They're already breaking the deal. The deal was this. Israel had to stop striking Lebanon. If America had to sign the treaty, and they had sworn that they were going to stop attacking Lebanon, and they had to get Israel to stop attacking Lebanon. And guess what? Israel's bombing the crap out of Lebanon. So that deal ain't going to last too much longer. You're still in the midst of World War III. You're about to see a kickoff any day now. You're about to see people all these nations go to war with one another. That's why you see so much conflict and warfare in the planet Earth right now. The stage is being set. So what do you got to do? You go join the white man's military? You go die for Iran? Go die for Israel? No. What you got to do is join your own military. Native man, Hispanic man, black man. There is a war front you needed right here. You're needed, guess what? In your ghetto. You need it in your barrio. You need it in your reservation. You need to teach your people how to stop killing one another, how to stop hating one another, to come together and learn how to love one another as the Most High meant for you to love one another, man. What, any more on that?
That's it.
Drop that. Give me Revelations 11, verse 8. Of course,
they scared of book of Revelation.
Oh, come on, man. Revelation, man, is one heavy book. And the entire Bible is a heavy book when you read it from the proper mindset that you're supposed to read it. You can't read it from the Christians or the Catholics. The Christians and the Catholics, they're going to feed you their dogma. Why? Because they want to keep you slaves. Right. That's why so many of us turn away from the Bible. So many natives you'll see turn away from the Bible. Hispanics turn away from the Bible. Black people turn away from the Bible. They think this is a book of oppression. When you read the Bible, you'll see it's about freedom.
Right.
None but freedom fighters. Moses was a freedom fighter. Christ, freedom fighter. That's why they put Christ to death, because he was such a revolutionary. They're like, man, this cat is going to cause an uproar. This guy's going to cause a revolution.
Right.
The Romans were terrified of Christ. They know he could have said one word and just been like, you know what? We're going to take back Jerusalem.
Right.
And guess what? The people would have done it. Christ could have said it right then and there. We're going to take back Jerusalem from the Romans. Let's go do it, people. And the entire world, the entire Israelite world would have followed him at that time.
Right.
Because of what he was doing was so revolutionary. That's why they're terrified of us coming together. That's why they're terrified of you actually opening up this book and recognizing where you're from and recognizing the morality that comes with it. It's a glorious thing to have morality.
Right.
You know, like once you look at the world and you see how immoral and sick it is, you'll be like, you need some guidance. You know what I mean? You'll need some type of direction. And the only place you're gonna find is in the scriptures. You got that? You got what I need, Mariah?
11:8.
Yes. Was it 11:8? Yeah, I believe it's 11:8.
God. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street.
And what?
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street.
The dead bodies shall lie in the street. Who is that talking about? Someone help me explain this. Someone help me understand this. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets. Go ahead.
God of the great city,
Mm-hmm.
which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
You know how this place was founded? On our dead bodies.
Right.
On the dead bodies of the natives, of the Hispanics, of black people, in a place that is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So this is how you know this is a spiritual thing. How do you know it's America? What was Sodom known for? Sodom was known for all its disgusting, perverted ways. They, you know, what's the word I can say? I can't say the H word. LG, yeah, your alphabet lifestyle, right? That's what Sodom was filled with. Then you got Egypt, which was known for what? The enslavement of the Israelites, the mystery schools, the other religions. You get what I mean? So that's what this place that the Lord is talking about is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. What you get from that is America. Because the same spirits that were in Sodom and Egypt is here again. The same demonic powers, the same philosophies, you'll find it right here in America. Many of American structures and monuments are built after Egypt, and built after the Romans and the Greeks and Sodom, because they are replications and built America after these nations that tried to destroy God's people. So that's why the Lord's saying here, in this place that's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, our dead bodies lay in the street. Our dead bodies, you want to know where? Everybody always are like, where are the Native Americans at? You're walking on them. You slaughtered them, beat them down to a pulp. Then you wanted to name your attack helicopter the Apache. Then you wanted to name your team the Redskins and the Blackhawks. You know what I'm saying? Right. You benefited off the downfall and destruction of God's people for so long, and now you're wondering where they at. You destroyed them. You slaughtered them. Come on. Any more of that? Go ahead.
But also, our Lord was crucified.
And also our Lord was crucified. What is that talking about? That's talking about here in America. How is he being crucified every day? When you see that white picture of white Jesus, that's Christ being crucified all over again. Right. When you see Christian churches popping up in every corner and teaching another doctrine besides the one Christ taught, that's him being crucified all over again. And that's what we got to come to understanding. The Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, through us following these other religions and philosophies, it's like we're destroying Christ and destroying what he stood for. We got to come back to the Bible and see what the Bible actually was talking about. And if you read the Bible, it talks about nothing but brotherhood and love for your people. Right. Who's your people? The nation of Israel. Now, I talk about them Israelis out there in Palestine over there destroying the entire Middle East. I'm talking about Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Our original history, our original place of origin. We're the Israelites of antiquity. Our knowledge and our history and our culture has been stolen from us. And we can show you with the archaeology. We got the history. You know, we're not just speaking out of our rear. This is facts that we've been. Isupk, we are scholars. Right. We're historical, biblical scholars, and we can pull it all out from the records to show you where you align with in these scriptures. And this is how you know as well, because this ain't right here in this place called America. The Lord is being crucified over and over again through all these different doctrines and religions, to them painting him as white, to them destroying his image. You know what I'm saying? Any more on that?
Nah, sir.
Let's drop that. Let's get Give me Ezekiel 35:5. Thank y'all again for joining us. So we can be out here, tell blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, as the Lord desired, as we need to be, we got to stand for one another, love one another as Christ prescribed in the Bible, man. That's what we're here to do. With me. You got it?
Come.
Go ahead, give it to me, brother.
Come. Because the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Yeah, what?
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
America has had a perpetual hatred. What's a perpetual hatred? It's an overlonging hatred. It's a damn near everlasting hatred. Right. America has had a perfect hatred against the children of Israel. Who is it talking about? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Right. This is how you know it said, and has shed the what?
And it shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
By the force of the sword.
Mm-hmm. Now, America shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Now, this is how you know it's not talking about the literal or what you would think today as the Israelis. Right. The Israelis went through a Holocaust, right? That was a horrible thing. That was a disgusting thing. Right. But other than that, they ain't really been through too much. Right. You know, they kind of gotten away scot-free from a lot of things. But to this day, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you have suffered a perpetual hatred, which is what, like we just talked about, everlasting and overlasting, long hatred by your oppressor. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you have been slaughtered by the force of the sword. Since the last 400 or 500 years, 1,000 years since Christ reigned, you've been out, and since Christ's been on the scene, you've been at war with these people. Right. And in latter times, they were called the Romans. Today, you know them today as your Americans, your red-blooded Americans, your rednecks. You know what I mean? These people that once were the Romans have risen up again to continue to put you in chains, to continue to put you in oppression, to put you in subjugation to them. Right. That's why the Lord said right here, who have been enslaved, who's read it one more time.
Come. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword.
By the what?
By the force of the sword.
Go ahead.
In the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
In the time what?
In the time that their iniquity had an end.
And you see, even at the time where our iniquity had an end, like the Lord gave us a small time here in America to be punished. Right. You know what I mean? That's why we're here. You ever wonder why this is going on with us? It's because we didn't learn our lesson. We didn't learn we shouldn't put other gods over the Most High. We didn't learn we shouldn't hate our brothers for no reason. We still didn't learn. Right. So Lord gave us small time here in America to be taught a lesson, just like any good father. You act out with your father gonna put you in timeout. You act out with your father gonna give you a whooping. You get what I'm saying? Right. That's what we got here in America. Are we good? Testing.
Okay.
We're good? All right, the water for that, Mara. I forgot where I was at. You got that scripture?
Luke 18:7.
Yeah.
The book of Luke, chapter 18, verse 7. Luke chapter 18, verse 7.
Go ahead.
And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him?
You know what I'm saying right here. Shall he not avenge his own elect? Of course, we're reading right here what we've been going over today. The blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the elect.
Right.
You're the chosen one of the Most High. You're the ones that are meant to be given the promise and the covenant and everything else that Christ died for. The Lord's saying right here, will he not avenge his own elect that cry to him day and night? You know how many children on the reservation are crying for justice against all the crimes that white people have done to them? You want to know how many black children in the ghetto are crying? Well, y'all just celebrated Father's Day. You know how many of them are growing up without a father? Because he's dead? Because he's in the jail cell? You know what I'm saying? You know how many children are dying or begging right now in ICE detention centers to be reunited with their families, to be reunited with their fathers? You get what I'm saying? So to his own elect that cry to him day and night, what are the Israelis crying about? Last time I checked, they got nothing but super firepower. You know, they got the United States backing them up. They got damn near the entire world backing them up. Why? Because they're the Israeli government. Or further, they're the Israeli government. You know what I mean? They're viewed as something that should be protected and worshipped. So the entire earth is backing their play. But who's backing our play? The Most High, the Lord in heaven, the creator of all things. He's backing our play. Yahweh in the Hebrew, which is the Lord, right? He's backing our play. All we got to do is listen to him, man. That's all we got to do. And it starts with us coming together, to us understanding we're brothers. You're not going to be able to fix each other if we don't know we need each other. That's what I come to a realization of. As once blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we put aside any beefs we got. Well, you're Latin King, you're GD, who cares? What we talking about here? Yeah, SD, he's Latin. I don't care about that. What are we going to do to get ICE out of our neighborhoods? How about that, nigga? When we going to talk about that? When we going to talk about that, bro? Get me right. Y'all niggas gangbanging, and it's 2026, and ICE agents are still in your community whooping your tail. Make it make sense. You want to sit here and complain about blocks and what you got in ops. Man, I ain't got no ops, man. You know who my ops are? A white man.
Right.
White people are my ops. They're the ones destroying my people. I don't give a damn about no gang. I don't give a damn about no drug dealers, not like that. Don't get me wrong. They're going to be dealt with in time. But you got to look at the source of the problem. So and that's the problem with white people. White people have you hating one another. Why? Because they're the source of your problems. How did white people get drugs into your community? They funded the drug wars. They funded the drug cartels, gave them endless amounts of firepower. I don't know if y'all know this. It's illegal to own guns in Mexico. I don't know if y'all know this. You got to go through such a diverse process to own just a gun. Then when you own a gun, it can't be no 9mm. It can't be no AR-15. It got to be one of those old school revolvers or a little cowboy little musket, right? Because you're supposed to use it for hunting. You're not allowed to own a gun like here in America where you could just go into a store and buy a Glock. But guess what? The cartels in Mexico, they're fighting with AR-15s, AK-47s, 50 caliber guns. There's cats out there with miniguns. They got a damn minigun. You know what I'm saying? In the truck. You know what I'm saying? And they're fighting with these things. And guess what? All of it came back to being American-made weapons. Where'd you know? How did they get that? The CIA, the feds. You know what I'm saying? They traded them guns and they gave them drugs. And they flooded drugs all throughout South and Central America, flooded drugs all throughout Black and Hispanic neighborhoods here in America. Why? To destroy us. To flood the reservation with drugs. Why? To destroy us. Because if we're on drugs and we're over here using drugs to numb the pain and our destruction, we won't have no will to fight. We won't have no will to resist. And that's exactly what's going on here in America. That's why we fill up churches, because we have no resistance left in us. You have to be a strong man to come up in here and to say, you know what, I'm going to fight for my people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to forgive my people. Even though my people have done me wrong, I'm going to get past that. And I'm going to dedicate myself to helping them, because they need your help. They deserve your help. White people don't deserve your help.
Right.
They just don't. I'm letting you know right now. You deserve the help. The reservations deserve help. The ghettos deserve help. The barrios deserve help. America, they don't deserve your help. They haven't earned it. They've gotten your help for 500 years. And what have they given back to you? Nothing.
Right.
That's why we got to give back our love for one another. We got to have compassion on one another. That's the whole point of this class. For Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to realize we are family.
Right.
Any more on that?
Oh, God.
Go ahead.
So he bear along with them. That's how I speaking too.
Right. That's Christ speaking right here. Go ahead.
Verse 8. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily.
He will what?
That he will avenge them speedily.
Oh man, that can't be right, Mariah. He said, you said this Christ speaking right.
Oh,
he said what?
I tell you that he will avenge them speedily.
He will avenge them speedily. This can't be right, brother. This Christ is saying he's going to avenge them speedily.
Right.
He's going to avenge these people that have been beaten down. These last few scriptures we've been reading about, talking about these people that have been beaten down, have been at the foot and at the boot of their oppressors. Christ said he's going to avenge them speedily, meaning what? He's coming quickly to give them vengeance, to give them justice.
Right.
But what we got to do to earn it, we got to love one another, man. We got to put each other first. That's why we coming out to all these different blocks and neighborhoods. Even though they're warring in the middle of it, we're coming and saying, you know what, brothers, we need to come together. We need to stop the land kings from hanging on the GDs. We need to stop the land kings from hanging on the SDs. We need to come together and show each other love, man. That's what we got to get to the bottom of. We cannot show hatred for one another, because the world is already hating us. You know what I'm saying? The world already is against us. Why should we be against one another?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's an old tactic called divide and conquer. And the Spaniards and the English and the French used it when they first came into the Americas. You know why? Because they were united. They were united about what? The Indian problem. We need to get these natives and these savages to not mix with the Negroes. So what are we going to do? We're going to turn them against one another.
Right.
And through them doing that, they've carried that tradition on even into this century. Now you got Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans beefing over nothing. The Hispanics won't join with Black people for what?
Right.
The natives won't join with Black people for what? There's natives out there that don't mess with Hispanics for what? It doesn't make sense when we've suffered together.
Right.
White people ain't suffered like we suffered. The Africans ain't suffered like we suffered.
Right.
Chinese ain't suffered like we suffered. They got their own suffering and plights, but they ain't suffered like us. The only ones that can understand our pain is another Black, Hispanic, and Native American. Only they understand what we've been through. Only we understand what it's like to be assimilated in this place. For them to try to replace us, for them to try to destroy us, even though we made this place great. They always want to talk about make America great. They never made it great. We made it great.
Right.
And so if there's anyone that can understand our struggles, our tribulation, our destruction, it's us. That's who it is. Any more?
Oh, God. Shall he find faith on the earth?
Jay found what?
Shall he find faith on the earth?
Go ahead. You could drop that. Let's get Give me what do I want? Give me Isaiah 34:1.
Right here. This is the first book I went to. That's it.
Almost like Christ. Lord right there, man. Going to Isaiah 34:1. Make sure we get out there. It's like y'all allergies sneaking up on me. Ooh-wee. So while again for everybody for joining us live. Of course, I get this information to all our people that are in dire need of it. Because of course it is time for us to come together and not be separated. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we got to come to the understanding that it's time for us to love one another. You got the scripture, bro?
God.
Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Come near, ye nations.
Come near what?
Come near. It's like come near, ye nations.
Go ahead.
To hear and hearken, ye people.
Mm-hmm.
Let the earth hear,
Mm-hmm.
and all that is therein.
So the Lord's saying, come here, all you nations. Everybody loves to talk about all these nations in the Bible, and other nations can be saying, well, this is a message that the Lord has for these other nations. Let's see what it's saying. Go ahead.
The world and all things that come forth of it.
So he's saying everything that's in this world. I got something to tell you. I want you to listen to what I'm about to tell you. Go ahead.
Verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
He is upon all nations. Meaning what? He is upon the Chinese, the Arabs,
right,
and definitely over the white man. Why? Let's go into it.
God, and his fury upon all their armies.
Go ahead.
He had utterly destroyed them.
He will destroy them. Go ahead.
He had delivered them to the slaughter.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. Their slain also shall be cast out.
Go ahead.
And their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
Now, the Lord's saying right here is he's going to bring destruction onto these other nations. Why is that? Like, if this, like, when you read the Bible from the eyes and the minds of a Christian, you're going to think God loves everybody.
Right.
I'm just so accepting of everybody. He just wants us to all sit together like care bears and come together. Well, that's not what he's saying right here. He said, I got destruction coming for these other nations.
Right.
Why is that? Because all they've done is destroyed you. It's not wrong to want justice. I need you to get that out of your head. You go to any church, any religious belief system, any person that thinks they're spiritual, they're going to tell you to let go.
Right.
They're going to tell you to let go when it comes to the destruction of white people. You see, they'll tell you to cut off other members of your own tribe and family. You know what I mean? Oh, your mother did you wrong? Oh, cut her off. Your father did you wrong? Cut them off. Ain't that what they tell you? You got to cut off toxic people. They're not going to tell you should forgive them. They're not going to tell you, oh, you should be understanding of what that person went through and maybe have some mercy on them. No, they're going to tell you right away to cut them off. Right. Well, if you come to them with the problems that your people are facing from white people, they're going to tell you, oh, you should forgive them. Have mercy on them. Right. White people don't know no better. I think white people do know better. I mean, just get me right on this. I think they do know better. They're not children. They've been having 500 years of the same problem. That's why the Lord's saying right here, he's going to bring destruction upon all nations, man. Why? Because all nations have benefited off our downfall. They benefited off destroying blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Right. America made themselves great by what? Enslaving and destroying Native Americans, by destroying and enslaving black people, right, by destroying and enslaving the Hispanics. So why will justice not reign for us? Keep going.
Oh, God. And the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
And what?
And the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Damn. He said there's going to be so much bloodshed that the mountains are going to be flooded with their blood, man. And you know why? Because the Lord loves you. Right. Like, this is what he's willing to do for you. Wonder why? Because our blood has flooded this land. He slaughtered over 80 million Native Americans just to conquer America alone. They slaughtered 100 million black people on just the boat ride here alone to the Americas. Right. They slaughtered countless and thousands of the Hispanic tribes in the Caribbeans and whatnot. They got a really bad track record. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So it's only right that the Lord sets it right. Everyone wants to talk about equality and justice. Well, you know what God said? He said, I'm going to bring all the equality and justice when I destroy you. When I bring indignation and destruction and I make your blood flow the same way you made my people's blood flow, then maybe we can be equal. Then maybe we can be sitting at an equal standing point. Right. Maybe then we can talk about coming together. Maybe. It's not gonna happen, but maybe. Right. But justice gonna come. But for justice to come, we have to love one another. Right. We have to put each other first. You know what I mean? I always make the example of this. Is if you're at your house and you have your family, you got your wife, your sons, your daughter, just picture with me, your mother, your grandmother, all in that house, and they're starving. And you take all that food that you have at your starving family's house and you give it to your neighbor, you're insane. What kind of man doesn't want his house to be fed first? What kind of man doesn't want to make sure his house is right before he goes try to feed another house? You know what I'm saying? You have to feed your house and make sure your house is right before anyone else's house can be all right. And that's what we got to do. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we got to make sure our community is all right. We got to make sure our people are all right. We've been going through 500 years of destruction. I don't know if you noticed. 500 years of destruction and enslavement, drug abuse, and everything else under the sun that you can think of we've been dealing with. And what have we been doing to make sure we're all right? Nothing. We just keep moving on day by day. We bury ourselves in our work. We bury ourselves in drugs. We bury our mind in lust and all these other things to ease the pain. But none of it is going to ease it. None of it is going to make it better until we come together, man, and we realize who we are as a people, man. Any more on that, Mariah? Let's drop that. Let's get the last one, and then we'll wrap it up from here. Again, thank for everybody for joining us. Please make sure we get this out there to all our people that are in need of it. Give me what's that one I want? It's back in Luke. Give me the first chapter. Luke, the first chapter, and give me I think it's 71. So I'll pull it up. Start at 70. Luke 1 verse 70.
Oh, I get it.
All right, fast with it.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 70.
Go ahead.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
Go ahead.
71. That we should be saved from our enemies.
That we should be what?
That we should be saved from our enemies.
And this is the prophecy that was for Christ. There was a prophecy that they gave for the Messiah. And when Christ comes back, when he shows up into this world, then this has been a prophecy that's been since the world began. Right. That he would save us from our enemies. Now, this is how you know it's not talking about the nation of Israel. Right. The nation of Israel or the Israelis, whatever you want to call them, fake Jews out there, the Ashkenazi Jews, they don't deal with too many enemies. Right. They're the world's enemies. They're bombing everyone to the Stone Age. They control your currency. They control your Hollywood. They control your diamond districts. They don't really got too many enemies. They kind of run the world. But Black people, Hispanic people, Native American people, you got enemies, plenty of them. Everyone wants a piece of you. Everyone wants to hurt you. Everybody wants to destroy your family. Everybody wants your women. You're like you're being attacked from all angles. That's why Lord says right here, he gonna save us from our enemies. And from the hand of who?
From our enemies. And from the hand of all that hate us.
From the hand of all that hate us. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are hated in this land. I don't got to bring up the statistics to show you that. That's in the Bible. That's in the world. That's every day. So what do we need to do? We got to come together. We got to separate from those who hate us and love one another as it's prescribed in the Bible. And that's what this Brotherhood class is about. For Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to love one another. To understand, we don't really have differences. There's not too many. You get to learn each other and get to understand each other. You'll see we're not too different, you and I. We're in this together. We're here to love one another as it prescribed in the Bible. With that, I'm Precinct Officer 5000 Karyash. Shout out to Precinct Officer 1000 Mayala for joining me to make sure we get this class up and make sure we come together with all our people to make sure we teach this class for all of us as Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to come together. Shout out to everyone for joining us for this Brotherhood class. We ain't got any questions before we move on. We'll wrap it up. We're good. While to everybody, please make sure you tune in tomorrow. We got the blog class tomorrow. You make sure you tune in so we get again more of this information out so we can understand how to come back to our power, how to return back to our culture and our history according to the scriptures. With that, that's my time. Shalom.